Hey guys, it's DestructoCraft and I'm here with another video. Just give an update, the mod pack is actually going pretty well. It's still going to take a little bit to finish, but in the meantime here's another game. Another one of my favorites, Stanley Parable. I did not begin yet, begin a new game, because there's an intro and you can't pause it. If you're new to the game, it's a best way to describe it. It's a choose your own adventure book in video game format, and I'm not gonna be doing as much talking because I'm gonna let the little narrator. I'm gonna squabble with him more than you guys. So here we go. And it does have a couple long loading screens, so that's when I'll do most of my talking. This probably be like a 2-3 episode series, so it won't be too long. So, loading screens are one of the most annoying things in gaming. So, yeah. I'll probably... here we go, it's starting to load. Halfway there, over half. Come on, you can do it. Okay, if I were to make a top 10 of annoying things in gaming, this would be here. But I don't make top 10s, at least not yet. If you guys want me to do a top 10, let me know in the comments. And if you have suggestions on what top 10 should be, put that in there as well. Be something feasible that I can do, record.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-winning, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened. This complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Basically what the controls are W, A, S, D, and you cannot jump, and left click is to interact with a couple objects.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
There's very few
Stanley
objects
decided
you
to go to the
can
meeting
interact
room.
with.
Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
And basically there's a couple things you can do. You can either follow the narrator's advice and listen to him, or you can completely go the opposite direction. It's funny.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Like I could follow the guy's advice, go this way, or I could go this way. I'm going to start out on the left. I'm going to do a couple different endings, probably this episode. Just absorb
Yet
it.
there was not a single person here either.
Do not alter with
Feeling
consulting
a
the
wave
whiteboard
of
manager.
disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office hoping he might find an answer
How to solve a
there.
dispute with coworker. Take it out passively, aggressively on other coworkers. Resent coworkers for not supporting you more. Let it ball up inside you. Rinse and repeat. It's a broom closet. And one of my friends actually suggested I do this ending.
Stanley
Here you
stepped
go.
into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
Nope, I'll just sit. I also forgot control is to crouch.
There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be here. It was baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet. He wasn't even doing anything. At least if there was something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet FA. Are you
Nice, I mean, you got
really
duct
still
tape.
in the broom closet? Standing around doing
Wrenches.
nothing?
Everything a guy
Why?
needs for survival.
Please offer me some explanation here. I'm genuinely confused. You do realize there's no choice or anything in here, right? If I'd said Stanley walked past the broom closet, at least you would have had a reason for exploring it to find out. But it didn't even occur to me because literally this closet is of absolutely no significance to the story whatsoever. I never would have thought to mention it.
I don't know, that light bulb looks pretty important.
Maybe to you this is somehow its own branching path. Maybe when you go talk about this with your friend you'll say, "Oh, did you get the broom closet ending? The broom closet ending was my favourite." I hope your friends find this concerning. Stanley was fat and ugly and really, really stupid. He probably only got the job because of a family connection. That's how stupid he is. That or with drug money. Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
I think he's just insulting me.
Well, I've come to a very definite conclusion about what's going on right now. You're dead. You got to this broom closet, explored it a bit, and were just about to leave because there's nothing here, when a physical malady of some sort shut down your central nervous system and you collapsed on the keyboard. In a situation like this, the responsible thing is to alert someone nearby so as to ensure that your body is taken care of before it begins to decompose. Hello? Anyone who happens to be nearby? The person at this computer is dead. He or she has fallen prey to any number of your countless human physiological vulnerabilities. It's indicative of the long-term sustainability of your species. Please remove their corpse from the area and instruct another human to take their place at the computer, making sure they understand basic first-person video game mechanics and filling them in on the history of narrative tropes in video gaming, so that the irony and insightful commentary of this game is not lost on them. All right, when you've done that, just step out into the hallway.
Yeah. Come on, speak. You gonna speak? Speak English? Fine.
Ah, second player. It's good to have you on board. I guarantee you can't do any worse than the person who came before you. You too? Unbelievable. I'm at the mercy of an entire species of invalids. Perhaps there's a monkey nearby you can hand the controls to. A fish? Fungus? Look, you can hammer out the details. I'm not particularly picky. I'll just be waiting for when you're ready to pick up the story again.
You have anything else to say? No? Yeah, let's keep going then.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
I'm kind of scared. Let's go down here. His basements are always safe, especially when they're dark.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. "I'm dreaming!" he yelled. "This is all a dream." Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So,
how many times have I gone through these rooms?
And began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking?
Yeah, I was thinking about, I was wondering that too.
Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd, and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine.
That sounds like some sort of psychiatrist treatment.
Okay.
Or some self-help book.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real.
Red.
I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black. This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
We switching characters?
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy, this much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't.
You sure about that?
It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day, the very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
I died. Seriously? I died? I didn't even think you could die in this game. Is that horrible at it? Yeah, that was one of the only endings I hadn't got yet, so. Game started over, so,
All of his co-workers were gone. What could
blah
it
blah
mean?
blah blah blah.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Gonna get one more ending, and then I'm probably gonna call it good for this episode. Probably get a short ending. Let's go to the right when we get to the double doors. This doesn't look like... No,
When
maybe I'm
Stanley
just
came to a
psychotic.
set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in. But
Move
eager
on.
to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. And
Yeah,
so
let's go
he
this way.
detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Should we? But what's this? I like buttons. I like to... I just push random red buttons. Why is it that in movies and stuff you never want to push the big red button? Why? Why isn't it green or blue or black, or at least have a skull and crossbones on it?
But Stanley
Why is it
didn't
always
want to
red?
go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here it's, left.
You sure?
Oh, no. No, it's to the right. My mistake.
You give about as good directions as my
No,
sister.
No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's
I don't
clearly...
know.
Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please?
I don't have all day, dude.
Now, let's see. We went down right, left, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
You at this door too? You gonna shut it? There's a door there. No door. I'm not even gonna question it anymore.
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay,
Security
okay,
cameras.
okay. We just have to get back to
Fired.
Who am I kidding? It's all
Fired.
rubbish now. The whole story completely
Ford.
unusable. How about, rather than waste my
Did that one
time
say
trying to
pirate?
salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning.
No.
And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay.
Yeah, pirate.
From the top.
Nah. End is never the end is never the end is never is loading. Lovely. Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley... Wait, what? No, I restarted. I swear I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Well, did something
Hey, you
change?
can get to that door.
Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you move the story somewhere, or... Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay, then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
So many options. I'm lost.
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
And luckily these loading screens are a little bit shorter.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Okay, yep, it's worse.
Houston,
I might be remembering this wrong.
we have a problem.
It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
You mean this way?
Aha! I knew we'd miss something. The story. Here it comes.
Left turn.
No, wait.
Left turn.
Never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
Seriously, what's wrong with your directions? Like I said, worse than my sister's.
Now this... Well, I'll be honest. I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win!
Yay!
Congratulations! I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off, so good job.
Look at something from a horror game.
No, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations. Okay, I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart.
What's this, number 4 now?
All right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line. Just
Trademark.
follow the line. How
Trademark.
simple is that?
Nice. Nice touch. Follow the line. This way? Put a lag there. Alright. Move around the
You see,
boxes.
the line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Whoa. Hang on. That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that. You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
Alright. One of my favorite songs ever. Seriously. Hold on. Shows you can go straight through. Game developers, you are seriously freaking me out.
Cut the music, go back and look at that fern. Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story. Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully. You won't want to miss anything.
Okay. Moving on. Turn the music back on.
Wait, what? We're back at the office? No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell? Oh, no, not again. Line, how could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... Well, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart.
Seriously. Lines here again.
You know what, Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious. Ooh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
Sorry about that, guys. I got interrupted by the phone. Let's try to finish this ending and I'm calling in for the episode. Which direction was it? Okay, this one.
Now, yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be? Go wild. Use your imagination. Whatever it might be, Stanley, I'm ready for it.
Okay, that was weird.
Oh, no, not you again. Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine.
Ignore. Okay, good. It's gone.
Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control. How important we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute. Okay, so I know that each door has to lead somewhere. which means that somewhere at the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here.
Started walking
And
in
that
circles.
in turn means that our destination corresponds
There
with
we
the
go.
counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits.
Confusion ending.
Hold up, what's this?
See, deviate from maintenance
Confusion
room.
ending.
First
You're
restart,
telling
second
me-
restart.
That's what this is. It's all one giant ending. And we're supposed to restart the game what, eight times?
After a long time, Stanley
That's
died.
really how all this goes? It's all determined? So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing, wall. Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really? No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on.
I'm gonna
I
sit
don't
in
want to
the
be
chair.
trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. And the timer stopped. Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle? The, whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen? So, okay. I guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story. Wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime...
Anyways, I think that's the end, or that's the finale of that ending. I'm gonna go ahead and check real quick once the loading screen happens, but I think it's the end. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna let it go from here. This has been Destructive Craft. Hope you enjoy this little mini series here. Anyways, guys,